Welcome to Behind the Wheel, a magazine show that gives you everything you need to know about the ATE VW Challenge, brought to you by ATE and our associated sponsors. In today's show, we chat to Stuart, Konig and Ian Walker. We also find out about Mitch Coetzee's new racing team, and we see how fast all three drivers go around our virtual track. Welcome to Behind the Wheel. Round 3 of the 2025 ATE VW Challenge at Zwartkops had Jayden Goosen qualifying in P1 in Group A, Stuart Mack in Group B, and Adrian de Beer in Group C. And after the checkered flag came down, the pole sitters all turned their start positions into maximum points. Ian Walker finished race 1 in second, followed by Elna Cruiser in Group A. Group B had Francis Aldrecht finishing in silver position ahead of Chris Davison in Group B, while Group C had Stuart Konig and Bryce Pillay ending in second and third place. Race 2 was a copy and paste of Race 1 in terms of podium places for all of the groups, and the 2025 ATE VW Challenge Overall Championship looks like this. Adrian de Beer leads Stuart Mack by 1 point heading into Red Star, with Mitch Coetzee not too far behind to mount a comeback in third place. Before we wrap up round 3, maybe just some action from the coming together of ATE VW Challenge chairman Philip Cruiser and one of the Team Shalom cars. According to Wikipedia, shalom is a Hebrew word meaning peace and can be used idiomatically to mean hello and goodbye. So, hello Philip, goodbye points. So that's what happened at Zwartkops. Welcome back to Behind the Wheel, episode 3, and I'm sitting in studio with Ian Walker and Stuart Konig. Ian, you and I did chat at the track, but VW Challenge basically was your feeder series. That's your first little taste of racing.
That's it. Yeah, 2021 VW Challenge in C class. Raced pretty much half a season after being coaxed in by Mark Babalia from Paybar and a few other mates, and never left. So yeah, and then 2022 C class again, won the championship in C class. 2023 up to B class, kind of raced half a championship on and off. 2024 B class again, also on and off, and 2025 I've stepped up to A class.
To A class now.
Yeah.
So, and you found it quite easily. Like there were guys to talk to take you through the process, what to get, the rules, etc.
Yeah. So look, I raced motorbikes back in the day a little bit and dabbled on and off-road motorbikes and enduro and a few things. So I think the petrol was in my blood and kind of just rolled into it. But yeah, the kind of family behind the challenge gripped me, helped me, did everything they needed to do to get me involved. And yeah, they really did help.
Stuart, your boot races, your dad's part of the sort of the team. How's the 2025 sort of feed into your VW Challenge story been?
So it's actually been fantastic. We've had some really nice close racing, which is what we came for. It doesn't matter what lap times you're doing. You just want to be close to someone and have a really, really tight and hard fight. I'm just happy that I'm at the sharp end of Class C, which is where I've come into. Jono started one race into the season, had a few niggles with the car, but we've got the car right. Now he's just got to get the lap times down so he can try and catch Stuart Mack, who is flying at the moment. But so far we're really enjoying the season and we're looking forward to the next few races.
Tell us about your coming together with Bryce.
My coming together with Bryce wasn't anything. Well, at the time it felt major. It felt like a deliberate hit, I must admit. But after reviewing the footage after the race, it was clear that there were actually 3 of us trying to go through turn 2 at once. And very seldom does that ever work out nicely. So, it is what it is. Deemed a racing incident. I'm happy with the findings. And we move on and it is what it is. It was still a great race. I recovered to third and had a great weekend. It was really good.
So, Stuart, you came from historics. Since starting with ATE VW Challenge, Ian, you've now also done a bit of lemon racing. Lemon, where does the name come from?
The theory behind the lemon is go and buy a 50 grand car and turn it into a race car and come and race it. So it's kind of real budget endurance racing. There's 9-hour and a 24-hour in the series. Get 4 drivers or 5 drivers or whatever you like together. And split the cost between everyone and go racing. We had a Lemons race this past weekend and geez, we had the time of our lives.
So what car are you running in the Lemon?
It's called Blitz Patrolli. It's an old Mark II Golf, yellow and blue in the old Blitz Patrol colors as the old cops were. Siren, everything on the roof. And it kind of, everyone kind of has a theme and that's our theme. We the constables and we go and race.
Well, keeping the it in the family, you're driving a VW. You also, when you were in Historics last year, driving a VW Sirocco.
Yeah, so I've actually been in VW almost my entire racing career, starting out in Super Hatch, had a Mark 1 Golf. I had a brief stint with a Peugeot 206 in Super Hatch, then went and did some endurance racing. Funny, we also had a Golf Mark 2. That was in the South African Endurance series, where we did one season of that, 2017. And then it was a Scirocco in Historics, and yeah, very, very different car. But VW all the way through, it's a great marque, a great brand. It's well represented. Parts are easy, relatively easy to come by on the older stuff and easy for the newer stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of a no-brainer to go VW racing.
You're watching Behind the Wheel here, where we're chatting to Ian Walker and Stuart Konig. Massive thanks to our sponsors, ATE, and their associated sponsors. Let's go and see what happened at the round 3 before the Zwartkops race. We spoke to some of the drivers.
I didn't do Kyalami, so for me, it's only my second race for the season. And yeah, it's just, I do it for fun. So, no, like if I'm mid-pack, I'm happy.
It feels fantastic. It's a lot better than the last round at Kyalami, where we had quite a few issues with the car. I just got the car, so still learning things like feeling and stuff like that. But everything is coming together for this weekend, and so far so good, and yeah, feeling good.
Ja, nee, ek dink C-klas is die klas om in te wees hierdie jaar. Kompeterend, ja, hopelik nie hierdie naweek nie, is ek so 'n bietjie beter nie as vorige naweke. Kyalami was lekker, maar ek het bietjie tweede reis net ek opgestap. Tire drukke was nie reg nie. Hier het ons dit nou gou reg gemaak nie, en so werk dit goed.
Some competition with the Class A guys. The new turbos are really making it tough to keep up with the pace, but something to chase, and we'll try our best.
Ek het baie geleer by die challenge. Dis een ding wat ek jou kan sê. As jy wil begin, dis waar jy begin. Want die ding is, jy leer soveel goed, weet. Maar wat my gehelp het is, ek het eventually net ek nou weggeloop van die bou van die kar af. En die doen my kar. Goose Motorsport. So ek is nie meer hands-on op my kar nie, en ek konsentreer nou meer op die bestuur. Dit maak 'n groot verskil.
These cars are so forgiving and cheap to maintain. Actually, you need finesse to drive these things properly, because you can overdrive it. It's all over the place, but what's nice, it's very forgiving. So the guys that obviously in front, they drive very smoothly. So that's the trick with these things. Smooth is very fast. If you see guys going sideways and things, you know they're losing lots and lots of speed, like me.
Yeah, no, compared to the other guys, definitely need a little bit more practice to try and just perfect those little corners here and there, but we try our best.
Big time. No, you forget everything when you drive this thing. All your problems stay at home, and then 10 laps in this thing, it's amazing. You only concentrate on what you're doing, that's it.
Ek dink as jy 'n passie daarvoor het, jy weet, dan is die challenge nie is 'n lekker platform om te begin. Almal help jou, nie alles nie. Hulle help jou so ver as wat hulle kan, jy weet. Maar weet, dit is maklik om betrokke te raak, is baie maklik nie om deel te word nie van 'n klub nie, en jy kry die blootstelling, en dan sal hulle jou hier en daar help nie tot op 'n punt. En daarna moet jy nou maar self insien, weet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a nice group of people. We'll get along, we'll gel, we'll have a good time, you know. So, yeah, it always makes the racing one hell of a lot better when you can at least talk to the guys before and after the race, no hard feelings, and we all just get along and have fun with each other. Yeah.
So that's what practice day looked like at Zwartkops. We're in studio now here at Behind the Wheel with Mitch Coetzee. Mitch, how much practice do you get at these kind of things? I know at Kyalami you were more worried about what your son was doing than your own practice.
Yeah, Zwartkops, I'm a little bit more fortunate because on a Wednesday, at least I have an opportunity to practice. Kyalami is quite difficult because we only get out there once a year and there's not a lot of opportunity to practice. And as you said, my son was racing in Polo Cup on the day, so I was too busy running down to his pits to make sure his car was right to worry about myself.
Tell me what your team ownership right. What's the team called?
What happened was, I'll give you a bit of background. My son came out of karting and we were looking to join a team, and we joined a team called JRT Racing. And after being there for a year or two, the owner was planning to go overseas, and it was a natural progression just to buy the team. So I bought the team as JRT Racing, which is still what we branded as. It was quite a successful brand. I think a lot of people know the name. And that's basically how it happened.
So what is it going to become? MC, Hammer. No. Okay.
No, not MC Hammer. We'll do the great reveal.
That's coming. Okay. Well, when can we look forward to that?
So we're just busy with branding and just getting everything, all the logos and everything sorted out. But it's obviously, the team was bought with my son in mind. So obviously it's about him.
So let's chat about him. He's in VW Polo Cup at the moment, but he did sort of cut his teeth at ATE VW Challenge.
Well, he came out of karting at the age of 14 years old and he joined VW Challenge. I think he had to get special permission, if I remember correctly. He had quite a rough first year, but I think it was quite a good experience. I mean, he just took to the car like a duck to water.
So I'm a layman. What's the difference between an ATE VW Challenge car and a Polo Cup car?
Okay, so the biggest difference firstly is the one is a regional series. So VW Challenge is a regional series. It's basically a feeder series for the guys to go up to the national series. National series being they do a lot of away races, so they'll race all over the country. It's run by VW Motorsport South Africa, and they are extremely strict. The rules, there's no latitude. The car is a 2-liter turbo. For the first time this year, they've actually put aero on the car. So they put a splitter, they put a wing on. They've upgraded the turbo, which makes it quite a lot quicker. It's got bigger wheels on, and all the cars have to look pretty much very similar other than their branding.
And that'll be the focus of your new racing team, obviously the Polo Cup.
Yeah. So
okay. And you'll have this offshoot, a Class C ATE VW Challenge car that goes like the clappers when you're behind the wheel.
Well, hopefully. So as you correctly pointed out, Kyalami wasn't a great event for me.
Yeah.
And the last race at Zwartkops, I was on pace on the Wednesday. When we got there on the Friday, I just lost all the pace. But I'm glad to say we found what the problem was. So I'll be back fighting with Stuart and Bryce and Adrian the next race.
So we've had a little bit of a history of your son's racing career. Where did you start?
My older brother was always a petrol head, and I guess we all petrol heads. And I think my first real exposure to racing as a kid, I was probably 8-9 years old, was the 9-hour races at Kyalami. And I remember going to the 1976 Formula One Grand Prix, and it was sponsored by the Citizen. I still remember, Yellow Pages and the Citizen. And I think that was quite an experience. I think petrol was always in my blood. As a youngster, we all had our little 50cc motorbike.
Yeah.
I think I did a race in Zwartkops in about 1981. Bikes are still my passion. I love bikes. So I did a lot of off-road stuff. And from there, I got into karting. I got into karting quite late in life, but started in Formula 100s. And funnily enough, with a lot of the ex-VW Challenge guys like Valdi Mankies and Derek Smallberger, we used to race Formula 100s together. And then from there, I moved up to shifter karts, which was a natural progression because it made sense coming from dirt bikes. And I just loved shifter karts. And then my son started racing karts, and he became quite successful. And then I basically took a back seat in karting. So then I focused on him fully. And then in 2019, he raced in Europe in the Euromax Challenge Series. And when we got back from Europe, he did a test and with Etienne van der Linde, and Etienne said, I think he's ready to go long circuit. So it wasn't really a plan. And in 2020, we went to long circuit and basically stopped the karting.
So Mitch, you're more than just a racer, a team owner, a father. You're also into the officiating. So as a layman, help me out here. COC, what is that? The clerk of the course. What does it mean?
Basically, Motorsport runs under the auspices of Motorsport South Africa, which is basically FIA gives them permission to run motorsport in South Africa. So I act as an official for Motorsport South Africa, which basically is the principal at the events. So, you don't want to go up to the principal's office. The clerk of the course runs the event, runs the day. And then he has the stewards, which basically sit in the background. If there's anything that, if competitors are not happy with the COC decision, they have a hierarchy where they can go to the stewards and they can protest or appeal the COC decision. So it's basically a regulatory body, and it's making sure that all the competitors respect the rules of the game and to make it fair for everybody.
So Mitch, with being a dad of a motor racer, I presume that when it comes to sponsorship, the Bank of Dad also comes into play.
Unfortunately, at this point, it's only the Bank of Dad. We have tried to get a couple of sponsors on board. I think when they see how much is actually involved, it scares them off. And I don't think they actually realize what the costs are involved. And I try and tell new potential sponsors, we don't expect you to carry the whole can. If you just assist us in any way you can.
So, Mitch, which is why we've got to be very grateful for the series sponsors. We've got ATE VW Challenge brought to you, obviously, by ATE and the associated sponsors, one of which is AutoZone, and we went to go and visit them this week.
I think, what it does for AutoZone is it obviously does create awareness. It does remind people, we're still around and we're back. We're in that position where we can have these partnerships. We're back into sponsoring and we really want to back, like we've spoken, your ride, our passion. We are super passionate about this industry and, these drivers, they live for it. They've got their full-time jobs and stuff, but every spare minute, every spare cent is going into their cars. It's their passion. And I think just backing it, getting involved in it, it really marries the two brands like that. It's been so good for us to be involved, to see Stuart Mack especially taking the lead in his class in the series and, seeing our brand right at the top there. It's been really good.
The passion extends to the AutoZone team, who've come through some really hard times of business rescue.
I think the guys just have so much appreciation for everything that happened during such an awful time, and coming out of that, I think there's just an extra drive, more of a push to really get this machine back to where it was, to make us bigger, better and greater than we were, and seeing the passion in the team is it's actually phenomenal to come from that to this to where we're going. It's great.
Die passie, definitief die passie wat ons het, jy weet, en dan die commitment wat ons teenoor AutoZone het en teenoor die customers het. Daai is definitief iets wat ek dink baie van die ander competitors, om my so te stel, jy weet, hy gee nie altyd daai passie wat hy moet nie.
AutoZone remain committed to their clients by being a place where you can find the best advice.
Kyk, jou ons is al 'n paar jaarie, ek is al amper 25 jaar. Ons het online trainingprogramme, so definitief sal ek kan sê, ja, ons kan, jy weet, baie goeie advies gee.
I think we give a lot of option and a lot of variety, and that also obviously does impact the bottom line, which is always what the customers are looking for. But what I mean specifically is if you just look at our oils over here, we've got Castrol, we've got Shell, but then we've got our own house brand as well. So there is so much variety. You're not limited to walking in and you just have to buy one product, one brand. We do stock a lot of different brands from all over the world, and we are constantly growing in that as well. You've seen a lot of Chinese cars starting to come into the market. As that market grows, as that demand grows, then we'll also be able to sort of help over there as well.
Ja, ons het definitief baie sterk verhoudings met van die customers wat hier aankom. Van hulle is baie jare saam met ons. So as hy 'n probleem het, gee hy dit haal dit oor. Weet as 'n pryseprobleem is of 'n produkprobleem is. Die nuwe ouens, jy maak baie vinnig kennis met hom. Ons verhoudings wat ons het van die toonbank af na die customer toe, definitief maak 'n verskil.
I think the biggest message is really just a thank you to everyone who has stayed by us. We've got such loyal customers. Times have been tough. I mean, there's been shops where you've been able to walk in and the shelves have been empty. They haven't been able to stock what they need to. So, just thank you for your patience. Thank you for coming back. Now, as things are starting to turn and, things are just going to get better, we are going to be bringing in more ranges, more product lines, and, the more we get in, the better the price is going to be. So, thank you, and stick with us.
From one Class C driver to another, Stuart Konig, and a Class A driver, Ian Walker. Welcome back to Behind the Wheel, brought to you by ATE and their associated sponsors. Give a little shout out to the sponsors.
Yes, so shameless plug, Northern Bolts and Tool. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel if you guys search for us. But we're based in Midrand. My dad started the business in 93. He didn't even draw a salary for the first year when he got this thing off the ground. My parents really, really struggled to get this thing going. But over time, it's now 32 years old. And yeah, we're just sending it as hard as we can, working hard every day. And yeah, we're blessed to be able to come and race. The business has paid for all our racing, everything in our life essentially up to this point. So really grateful for the opportunity to also contribute to the business and work in the business myself. But yeah, that's Northern Bolts and Tool. And yeah, we do hardware, industrial supplies, tools, power tools. What's big at the moment is our Inco brand that we are representing, and it's going very well.
Lovely. Ian, give a shout out to your sponsor.
Yeah, so obviously Melavelo Cycles, which is my business. We sell a whole lot of bicycles and it allows me to come racing. And Garmin, I think Garmin got involved with me about 2 years ago, and they jumped on board and backed me. And obviously I help a lot of the guys at the racing with their Garmin units and working them and doing everything like that. So I think it's a great partnership, yeah.
But when we're not racing, anyone doing any simulator racing?
So my son's got a basic PlayStation sim that I jump on from time to time and try and beat his lap times, but nothing serious, no.
Not semi-serious. Stu?
No. So it's not that I don't have time. I don't have a rig or setup. I do have a PlayStation, but I haven't played on it in a very long time. It keeps me nice and busy and other activities. Paddle, for example. So, if anyone out there wants to challenge me, come at me. We'll play.
Okay, before we all start cracking a real sweat, we're going to put you guys behind a ATE VW Challenge Sim. It's a Class B car. Been set up by Stuart Mack. And, so you've had a bit of Class B experience. Ian, Stu, you're in Class C, but don't worry, that works the same. There's got a round thing that makes the car go in different directions, and basically the guy who pushes the brake the least and is on the accelerator for the longest will win.
To brake for turn 1.
Give a lot of respect to turn 1.
Stuart continuing his battle from Zwartkops with Mr. Pillay.
Okay, no price on the inside. Let's go.
Okay, Stuart, Bryce isn't even on the track, so who are you going to blame this time?
I didn't need Bryce. No. Oh, that was going to be such a good lap as well.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, WTRC, I was watching Henk, Shout out Henk if you're watching.
So before the hot laps, all of the drivers are briefed to give a little bit of personality, to make behind the wheel a little bit more exciting. So Ian, let's see what you got.
I didn't think.
Okay, Mitch. There's nothing wrong with Stuart's self-talk. Very self-confident.
Oh, not bad.
Unlike Ian, who's struggling with a gearbox.
Slight miss gear.
Slight money shift.
Oh!
When in doubt, power out.
Ian crosses the line first, much to the surprise of Mitch in second.
This is not so easy.
Yeah, so she's not bad.
This is not so easy.
How did you do that one?
And after his World Rally excursion, so does Stuart.
38. Wow. What a lap. Okay, no, turn 1 is not flat.
So slightly different to the PlayStation games that they both have at home, but that was the behind the wheel simulator. How did you guys find it?
Yeah, awesome.
That was good.
Guys, next round for the ATE VW Challenge, we go to Red Star, but I heard something tonight which is really exciting. Most race courses, as I understood it, go one way, but explain to me what happens at Red Star.
So Red Star, the first 6 months of the year, it's in one direction, and the second half, it changes direction. So first, I think it's anti-clockwise, and then it goes to clockwise for the latter parts of the year. That gives you essentially 2 different racetracks to race on. So it's quite a unique situation there.
Which of the clockwise or anti-clockwise at Red Star do you prefer? Yeah.
Look, I like them both. They both got their challenges. They both got their advantages. Both quite hard to drive. With that amount of corners on a track, you've got to be on your game all the time. So
as we get to the sort of halfway mark of the season, how are the seasons panning out for you guys? Ian, start with you.
Yeah, so missed the first race at Zwartkops. The car wasn't quite ready. We did a lot of development on new management system for the A-Class car, and eventually got it to work properly kind of just before Kyalami. Had a few gremlins at Kyalami, still not 100%, but for Zwartkops, I think we were just about there. It showed in the lap times. A little bit of setup still to do on the car. Was actually out testing today, so I think a little bit more setup, and I think I'll be on that back bumper of Jaden.
Is your A-Class journey in the ATE VW Challenge, have you taken it sort of as a 18-month, 2-year, 3-year journey now with your A-Class car?
Yeah, I think we all kind of impatient and want to win at the first race. Yeah. But as with any new car, a new engine, new management system, new anything, it takes development, So I'm looking at this year as a development year, and if I can get, kind of to the front of the pack, by the end of the year, that'll be great. And then we know for next year we're there. We start the season fresh. And I think next year we'll be running at the front.
Stuart, you now, you came from historics. The family have come in with a bang. You're in C class, your puts in B class. How's your season gone?
Okay, my first race, I'd been practicing over and over again, done plenty laps. And the first race, there was a small mechanical issue on the car resulting in a DNF on the very first race.
Yeah.
But I was able to get the car fixed for the second race, had a fantastic race, second race. Kalami was good. I was improving throughout the weekend. I was still learning about the car, and I hadn't driven on Kalami for about 8 years. So it was a lot of learning. I got the fastest lap of the race over the weekend, which I was very, very proud of. Had a great race at Zwartkops this last round, nice and close. In terms of championship, unfortunately, I'm going to have to miss a round later on in the year due to other commitments. So my championship, I'm not really in the running for a championship. But, if I can get everything right, I think 2026 could be a nice year for us. But, we take it as it comes. We take one weekend at a time. And the goal of our racing is first and foremost to have fun.
Okay, James, so we're coming towards the halfway point of the season, and this is where people start looking at logs and etc. Do you know where you are standing? Class C. Stu, where are you?
So I'm currently 4th in class. I'm just a few points behind Bryce Pillay. So going into the next round, just going to try and send it as hard as possible and see where we end up.
Wish you luck there. Ian, where are you like?
I think I'm third, just behind Wayne. Wayne not racing at the moment in A class, so I wish he was, because I think it'd be great to have him on track and would be a fight. But I hope to catch him and then hunt down Jaden.
Guys from behind the wheel, thank you very much for your time. We wish you all the best for Red Star, and we'll see you on track.
Thank you.